Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're in podcast. We did say we're going to be back on the bi-weekly thing,
Yeah.
and here we are. We have stuck to our word. So we're
Right.
back. Uploads Tuesdays and Friday mornings. That is the plan because we're filming on Mondays and Thursdays. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. It's just below, just on the bottom right. And if you're on Spotify listening, please follow along. You can follow on Spotify and also give us a review because I think we'll be maybe at 400 reviews by now.
Yeah.
Let me have a quick look.
We're on 4.9 stars, which is annoying. Like
I know, but
4.9.
still,
Yeah.
it's not bad, is it?
No, but it's annoying that it's like 4.9. I'd rather it be like a 4.6 or 4.7, you know?
Saying that, people will give us shit reviews.
Yeah, please, guys, vote 5 stars on Spotify. If we're putting out this amazing free content, the least you can do is go give us a like, give us a subscribe, give
Three,
us a follow, give us a rating, all
three
that
nine
stuff.
eight. That's
Okay.
what.
Cool. So road to 400. So yeah, this is going to be a. I'm surprised Finn didn't say this is going to be a classic episode, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a classic Q&A episode. We desperately need to do more of these because we both said we need more questions, which they happen. We get loads of questions when we're consistent, but we haven't been. So yeah, anything that's happened in the last few days, Finn, that you wanna speak about since we last spoke on Monday?
Mm, we spoke Monday night, didn't we?
Yeah.
What about Tuesday, Wednesday? I did my car had its MOT today.
Congratulations to the Mustang.
Yeah, congratulations to the Mustang. Um, Huge dub, passing it. But I mean, it's going to pass anyway, even if it was fucked, because I get it done at my mate's. So
Okay.
there are things that need doing to it, but it passed, and I'm going back next week. So
Sorry, mate. Who did it? I'm just going to report this for.
can't, can't
Uh,
say. Oh, it's on my story. No, it's like the stuff that it needs doing. We're not failing it anyway.
yeah.
But I'm going back next week just to get. It's like the washers and shit.
Did I tell you about like when I paid over a grand again for a car service, but about my MOT? No,
When
this was
when
only like this was like 4 or 5 months ago. So I got my car failed its MOT because it got serviced the month before, and it failed based off the parking sensor at the back not like working. So whenever every time you turn it on, it would go parking sensor not working, like reverse camera not engaged or something. I don't know. And because it was a technical fault, it shouldn't have failed, but it failed even though it shouldn't have failed. And I paid for a service to get that fixed as well. And I paid, the guy conned me into spark plugs, and it was like four to six
you
hundred pounds.
remember you telling me?
Yeah. And then, so I was like, okay, cool, yes. But he was like, spark plugs need to be done in 2,000 miles. Do you want to get them done as well? I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that in the next, like, probably month, like, show season, sound, crack on. So that, and then that pushed up like 800 quid each. Like, oh no, 800 quid total. So it was like 1,200, 1,300 pounds. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, cool. You know, when like, because you didn't tell me. If he said
It's
£800, I'd
when
probably
you
go,
don't know though, like
yeah,
because you're not as much as you like cars, you don't know like
no.
how much that stuff's going to cost, do you?
Yeah, no, Finn, it gets worse. It gets worse. That's the least of the story. I then went and got my car MOT, failed. I then went to someone who I know that, like, again, similar, like, it literally is my mum's, like, they do their vehicles with them. So I was like, look, can you sort this out and then MOT my car? So they were sorting out this sensor. And they were like, yeah, cool, sound. Do you want a full, like, do you want just a full look through and we'll just sort out anything else? So I was like, yeah, sound, go ahead, that's cool. They replaced the spark plugs again and then charged me another £800. So I paid over 2 grand on a service within
Not
literally
just say to them,
5 weeks.
I didn't need that doing.
And I was like, the spark plugs were already done. Like, why did you do them? And they were like, oh no, we thought we needed to do them. And I was like, can you not take them out and give me my old spark plugs? And they were like, oh, it's already done. Work. Like, if you want the car. And I was just like, am I really gonna? I was like, I literally got spark plug done, guys. Like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So I don't know what happened,
That is
but
a piss take.
basically, yeah, that's
Thing is,
that's
though,
like
when you've got a nice
story.
car, people just take the piss. Like that's why I go to Matt because I know that he would not take the piss. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, Finn, you cut out.
did I?
Sorry.
I was just saying I didn't cut out on mine, obviously, but I'm in person with myself. So, um, but yeah, I was saying when you have a nice car, they'll just take the piss out of you. Like, in my opinion, I don't know if they do that, but I imagine they would and go, "Oh, well, it's a nice car." Like, it's like anything. Like, the more that you earn, the more successful that you are, the more that people are going to charge you for stuff because they know that you've got more money. Like,
Yeah,
so yeah, like having someone that you trust is good because like I'm not great with cars, so when I go to Matt, I'm like, I know he's not going to fuck me over.
yeah. No, I
I've got a
agree.
question for you.
Go for it.
So earlier. literally, as I got in my car after the MOT, it made me laugh. So I got in the car, and I don't know what radio channel is on in my car at the minute, but it's on for like 10 seconds until I connect my phone. It's always on. I don't know what it is.
Mm.
Sometimes, like recently, they've been talking about like loads of shit. Somebody's ill, somebody had cancer, and somebody had this. And I was like, what is this fucking radio station?
Yeah.
Today I got in it, and it was like, and Dean's called in and said that he had a crush on Danger Mouse when he was 4 years old. And he fancied the mouse, even though he knew it was a mouse and he knew it was a male, but he still had a crush on the mouse. That's what the fuck. So it made me laugh, and then I thought, I'm gonna ask Reese, like, did he have a crush on anyone, any character when he was a kid?
Great. Well, I will say, mate, you cut out again for a moment, but I
I
heard
can
Danger
tell that your
Mouse.
face is like,
Yeah, I heard Danger Mouse. That, and I heard he fancied Danger Mouse. What was the question? Did I fancy Danger Mouse?
so on the radio, it said somebody called in saying that they had a crush on Danger Mouse when they were a
Yeah,
kid.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that.
And it just made me laugh, and I was like, because like you do, don't you? When you're a kid, you like fancy different
Oh yeah,
cartoons.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like,
You know Lewis Griffin from Family Guy. I was like, she's fit as anything.
Lois, not Lewis, yeah.
Lewis. I thought it was
Lois.
Lewis.
Lewis
I
is a
didn't
boy.
watch it. I didn't watch it enough. I just watched it and instantly just.
Lois is pretty fit, to be fair.
Yeah, no. I
Um,
remember, weirdly enough, this sounds even weirder, bro. I remember like stumbling across on like I genuinely was not searching for it, like something like Marge Simpson naked, and I like immediately I was like 10, and I was like looked away, and I was like in disgust, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Homer's
it,
a lucky guy. That's all I'm
it
gonna
did
say.
make me laugh because it's just how they said it on the radio as well.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to ask Reese if he had any. Mine, Elastigirl from the Invincibles.
Really? Yeah,
Oh,
like you wanted to like dominate you and like choke you out and stuff.
yeah. And it was her voice. Her voice is so fit.
Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I haven't really watched that like enough to know really.
You want to watch that?
Okay. Anything else that you thought?
Um,
Did you ever like discover any like weird sexual kinks like when you were younger? Like when your uncle came round? Ooh,
Uncle bummed me, yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say my uncle came round. I haven't seen him for years. He was a good dude.
Good times.
Yeah.
Um, no, to be honest. Sorry, it's a bit boring. It's a
Yeah.
boring answer, but I
No,
don't.
no, no. The reason why I say that is I remember listening. I think I've told you about this before. There was a video. I think you actually might have mentioned it to me about like people watching sex, like their own sex tapes in a little huddle. So it's like you and your girlfriend sit in a huddle of like four other people, and you watch like a sex
I've
tape.
not told you about this.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Clearly, bro, I was a disturbed child. This was like 10 years ago, and basically there was a guy that used to love like getting stood on by like his girlfriend who was like pretty overweight, and like he was like, yeah, just so he basically like masturbates while she stands on his chest like in these heels and stuff. And like they're watching the sex tape, so they don't have sex. That's literally their sex. Is he wanks
Yeah,
himself off and she stands on him, and like one of the guys he
great for
discussed.
her.
Yeah, his mate. She was like, literally, like they interviewed him, and she was like, "I don't get anything," and everything like that. So it was like she's like traumatized by it, but he loves it, so I don't want to not give it to him. And like one of the guys looks at because they're all sat watching this, and he's just there like smiling, and the guy goes, "Bro, how did you even find out you like this?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"I was in primary school. A girl stood on
Oh,
my
I remember
hand,
you
and I was
telling
like,
me.
oh, I like that."
Yeah.
Weird.
There's a. I watched a program years ago on Netflix, and there's a guy who's got that fetish of like being his hands being stood on, like
Mm.
fucking weird. Anyway, let's talk about something relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah, car MOT today. Otherwise, just a normal rest day of cracking on. Um, and then last night trained legs. As I was saying to you before, trained later yesterday just 'cause I had a lot that I wanted to get on top of, and like other stuff outside the normal check-ins and stuff. Hashtag big things coming. Yeah. Um, and I can't do that after training legs. Like I say, I hate that as well. Like I hate being like I just can't. I could, but I'm just not as efficient. Like when people are like I just can't focus after legs. Like you can, it's just not as
Yeah, but
good.
you're just not.
Like
You're a worse version of yourself. Yeah.
yeah, and like creatively,
Oh yeah.
when I'm
No.
trying to be a little bit creative with things, fucking no chance. Or when it's not just normal work, like just getting back to client
Yeah,
messages
yeah.
or like making an Instagram post, fine. But like doing other shit that I'm trying to do, or messaging other people, like emailing people, sorting stuff out. Like last thing I want to be doing when I finish legs is that.
Yeah.
But I still had a call with Noah last night, which was nice because obviously for him, like 9 p.m. is 6 a.m.
Oh shit.
So basically, when he gets up, I had a call with him last night. So that was at like 10, but
Yeah.
that was a nice chat. He's coming home actually. Did I tell you?
No, is he what? Is he done? Like,
Yeah, he's coming back. So I don't think he'll mind me saying on the podcast. Sorry if you do, mate. But he basically just was like, I want to come back. Like he was kind of not loving it as much as he thought he would. I think he's had a good time, but I think it's one of those, isn't it? Like it's like if
for
you go on
like,
holiday and you're
yeah,
like, oh, cool, like make the most of this holiday for 2 weeks. But like
yeah,
you went on a 9 month holiday. It's not a holiday. It's just moving your life to somewhere where
yeah,
you've got no friends there. Really, like he's got a few clients there, which is cool. But Japan's fucking massive. Like you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like not like just seeing his clients every day. Um, so yeah, I think he just struggled a little bit with it, and you could tell because he wasn't himself for a little while. Like he still obviously cracked on. He was still great with his job and still checked in with me and everything, but like he wasn't 100%.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
bit of a shame, but then also it's like it's fair play for him to actually call it himself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He said to me, he was like, I don't know, he was like, am I being stupid? I was like, mate, you obviously have that gut feeling. I was like, just listen to your gut.
yeah,
Like, the only reason he would have stayed is to be stubborn and be
yeah,
like, well, I said I was going to stay, so I'm going to stay. And like, that's not a good thing to do. Like, I did that at uni, and I wish I hadn't really done it.
mm,
Like, after my first year, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But I was like, well, I'm not a quitter, so I'm going to do it. And like now, I've got a student loan. You know what I mean? It's like
should have
fucking
been
hell.
you last year in prep, mate. You should have done the first few shows and gone, that's what you done.
Yeah, but now I can say I'm a British champion bodybuilder, and I don't have to ever
Yeah,
compete again. I can
that's
still
not
say
worth that's not worth the physical and psychological the toll, mate. That's it's left on you.
I can always say never have to step on stage again. I'm still a British champion bodybuilder. Like people go, really? Yeah, I used to be great. Honestly, I used to be so
It's
good.
been so good. Like when like me and you were let's say I don't know 30 years from now, you'll be like, yeah, I was way better than it. Like way better.
I was British champion
Yeah,
bodybuilder. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he died. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That guy. Yeah. He won a shit pro card in like Romania or something, and then like was an awful pro, and he was
Died.
dead before 40. Yeah, that's what was gonna happen. So yeah, no,
Uh,
fair enough, mate.
have you got any updates?
Deloaded now. It's been 12 weeks. It's a weird one. I've not training, obviously not training legs and like not like doing hinges correlates to, like me being able to do a lot more for longer, which has been it's been cool, but it's also been like a bit strange because I'm like my body does feel pretty mashed, but like systemically I don't like my muscles, my upper body feels really tired, but like systemically I don't feel that bad, which I think you probably agree. That's the better of the two. Finn, get off your phone, bro. We're on a podcast, mate. Put your phone away. Okay, get the questions. I'll allow. Yeah, wouldn't you agree? Like systemically, I think for both of us, when you're systemically fucked, it's more challenging than like just your muscles or feeling tired and sore. You know?
I I feel like depends what you class as just like systemically. I think like now I'm in a similar. It's not the same boat as you, but similar in terms of like because my training's not just like fucking balls to the wall because I
Mm.
seem to just be working around injuries all the time. But I get like I do get a lot out of my training at the minute, and like
Yeah,
I'm getting pretty sore from it. But like muscle soreness is fine. I'd never take a deload because I'm sore. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, I'd take a deload because my joints are fucked,
yeah,
or because I hate training.
yeah,
Like when you just mentally need that bit of a break.
yeah.
But like I actually like being a bit sore. I had a chat with
Mm.
a client the other day, and they were sort of saying about like going into the gym when they're a bit sore, like is it okay? And I was like, I can't really remember the last time I did. I went into a session
Yeah,
and have a bit of soreness. Like
yeah,
you shouldn't be fucked, but
mm.
like if I go into a push session and my chest feels absolutely 100%, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
it's usually like a little bit of like if I contract my pec, I'm like, yeah, I can feel that I've trained it 3 days ago,
Yeah,
but I'm sound. But yeah, like I would I would rather have that than be just systemically battered, which you're not going to
mm.
be when you obviously you're not
No, no, no,
doing
no.
what
It's,
you're
it's
really
a
good.
weird one. It's been like 12 weeks, and I think it's literally just been like from a soreness standpoint to the point where I was noticing like coming into that second session of like said push or pull, I was like, oh, I'm like pretty sore. And then it was getting to the point where like every single session I was like, oh, I'm not even like I'm doing like you said like the pec contraction. I'm doing that the morning of a session and it's like painful to
Yeah,
contract. And I'm like, okay, probably best. And then like my joints, my elbows started to feel a bit shit. But like physically, I feel pretty sound. But like I don't feel 100% like there through the upper. So and also it aligns nicely. Like I should have probably took maybe a couple of days off like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but me and Sanara are going to Edinburgh tomorrow, so it was like kind of you just like push on. And again, you should be able to. I was again having this conversation earlier with a client where I was like, realistically, you can crack on and power through fatigue unless you're like either A, really inexperienced or B, a pussy. Like that's I'm being honest. Like most of the time, unless you are incredibly lean, we're talking like less than 6 weeks out if you're in the off season, you can power through fatigue and you can still train productively, no matter what, to a certain point. Like, and at that certain point, I don't think many people have found. We've
I
probably
think
maybe hit it once, maybe twice in our entire training, if that.
I think you almost get forced into pulling back a bit anyway.
Yeah,
Like either through your training just not feeling as good and you're not able to push yourself as hard, in which case you put less effort in,
yeah,
even subconsciously, or like
agreed. Almost.
generally what I like to do, yeah, you end up getting ill or getting injured, but what I like to do is like when clients are like, oh mate, I'm feeling pretty trash, I'm like, cool, just auto-regulate your training for the next 2, 3 days.
Yeah,
That's it. Like, and they're like what? Like, you don't need 5 days off, 7 days off every time you're a bit tired. Like, just
yeah,
literally go in and get after it and assess how you feel. And if you feel great after one set, do a second. If you feel fucked, don't do the second. Or if you feel fucked after two and you've usually got three or rest pauses, don't do them.
yeah,
You do that for 3 to 5 sessions, and you're like, oh, I feel actually pretty sound. And you don't get the issue of being out at the gym and having to regain momentum. Like, I every time I come back from a deload, like it takes me 2 weeks to get
yeah,
back to it. Like, and it's the same with any client. The amount of clients you get that get ill after a deload because their immune system like has to sort of get used to it again, and then they batter themselves and they get ill or they get injured in the first week because they're not used to it. Just like rather stay in the gym as often as you can. I think deloads really only make. I only would really take a deload and would like to program a deload when people have something on.
yeah,
Otherwise, I'm like, let's just take an easier week like a
yeah,
D volume. You can class a deload week even with training. You can
yeah,
train at a deload kind of level and do less volume, or even just train with reps in reserve on some movements. Like imagine if we were to do a session and say, right, we're going to do D volume and 2 to 3 reps in reserve. We feel like we hadn't trained.
yeah,
You
definitely.
don't lose momentum. It wouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? It'd be a nice, easy session,
Yeah.
and you'd probably feel fucking really fresh. But you don't lose that momentum. You don't have 5 days of rest day food or whatever.
No, no,
So
I agree. I think it depends as well, like strength wise, like the level I'm at, like even if I was to do that, I'm probably still going to be going through a good amount of weight. But again, like again, it's one of those sort of things that I don't really like to deload unless there is a direct reason. Like the last time that I had off was on holiday, and that was literally the day one. No, the second day of my deload, I went and trained legs, and the next day I injured my knee. But relevant of that, like it was a case where I was like supposed to have like 4 to 5 days off, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to fuck myself in a gym with Cybex Eagle pin loaded equipment. Like I can't go heavier than 110 kilos. Let me just go in and get a bit of a pump. And I think especially like now, like I think that's probably how I'll run through things anyway. Like I'll just regulate and go, oh, you know what? I'm probably not going to send a 7-8 plate stiff leg deadlift. I'm just going to go in and do a, let's say, 45-degree hyperextension, and then do maybe a little bit more, let's say, a little bit more volume, potentially higher
I'm gonna
reps.
say I just find as well, like
Yeah.
when you know, especially like joints wise, if
Mm.
you're like feeling a little bit battered,
Yeah.
you still train really fucking hard. Just do 15 to 20 reppers for
Yeah.
the main lifts that session. Like
Yeah.
sound like, and
Yeah.
you actually probably feel really good. Get loads of blood flow there, and you're like, okay, that was actually a really fun session. I enjoyed it. Like
Yeah.
get back to peak loads when you feel ready next week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, deload for the next few days. Literally, I'll be back in the gym like Monday, Tuesday.
Are you?
Renee, like there's Summit Fitness in on Monday that I might go to. You know Murray's gym because they've got a lot
Yeah.
of upgrades, which will be cool. So I'll probably nip into there anyway, even if I'm not training. I think it'd be cool to see like Murray and see what the kit they've got. And
Um,
otherwise, sound everything's good. Upper body probably the best it's ever looked. Like I actually think my upper body actually looks pretty good. Like I'm like, oh shit, like I actually look pretty complete. Like in my opinion, from the upper. My back's really good like right now.
beat
And
by Jacob Tipper.
Hmm?
You got beat by Jacob.
Yeah. Mate, we made a cool reel that's going to come out soon. I haven't seen it.
I
But,
honestly think he probably does beat you from the front and the side.
mate, did you have Sebum winning, bro? It's bodybuilding, it's open bodybuilding. Destroyed him, bro. I've 800 pounds on him. But it was we did a reel, like an enhanced versus natural reel, where Sam filmed us in the same spot. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it's like. We might not post it if I get mocked. But it was like we we're going through a round of posing, and then Sam's gonna like flick between them. Obviously, I'm not showing my legs because I can't pose my legs, let alone fucking they'd be look awful. But yeah, it's going to show like my side chest and then flick to Jacob's side chest and then like go through the poses, which I think we've got quite cool. It was, I think it was like it was Jacob's idea. Like I mentioned it to him, he was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do like this, and we can do this." And I was like, "Yeah, creative, mate."
Because he knows he'll beat you.
Yeah, he was like, "I'll do you, bro. I'll fucking do you." And I was like, "All right, mate, sound." And then yeah, I spoke to Finn about this before the podcast. Gave me the strongest pre-workout I've ever had in my entire life. It was so bad. So yeah, my appetite had only come back yesterday, which is wild. It took like 2 days for it to come back. It was that strong.
Mental, that, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
2 days of appetite
boy.
suppression.
Like,
Mental.
I'd never, like, obviously the ones that we used to have, like, I'd never do that now.
Mate,
I
the
have
thing
like
is that one scoop was half a serving. A serving's 2 scoops. I did like one scoop, did half of a serving, and I was like, I can't even
how,
comprehend what 2 scoops
how
was.
many milligrams of caffeine did it have?
Only like 300, but
I was
it's
gonna say, I
got
bet it
like
wasn't crazy. It'd have been everything else in it.
yeah, it's got apparently 10 other stimulants in. Like that's what Jacob was saying. And it's like it was so weird. I
That's
remember
definitely not
standing up.
natty. Jacob needs to be careful.
Yeah, I stood up, mate, after the lateral raise, and I honestly thought I was going hypo. Like I stood up and was like, I grabbed my intra and like chugged a bit because I thought I was going hypo, and I was like, oh, I'm not going hypo. That's how strong this pre is. Like I felt like I was like dripping. I was like not dripping in sweat, but like hot, but like almost a bit flustered. And I like just did a lateral raise, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm going hypo. I need some carb. And I was like,
I just think it takes away from the session, though, doesn't it?
yeah, but the thing is, it was push and push. If there's one session that I feel like you can be like a little bit
Oh, yeah.
jittery.
It doesn't matter if you feel
Yeah.
sick.
If
It's
it was
fine.
legs, I would have I almost threw up. I had sick in my mouth 2 times while I was eating my post workout meal, and once when I went from the shoulder press after doing a 20 repper. So if it was legs, I would have 100% thrown up. Million, wouldn't even no doubt. So push like just having like a fun dumbbell press session. You know, like it's okay, but never again, never again. And then Sam took it, mate. We got Sam to take it. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
Sam,
asked him if he wanted to take some the other day, the stim, and he was like, nah.
no, Sam trained afterwards, and he was like, "We said, well, you got to do it, bro. You got to do it." And he messaged saying, "Instant migraine, but good session." So he gave Sam a migraine.
Right, let's
Yeah,
get into some questions.
yeah. Let's get it.
Now they've gone. I knew that you having a go at me for getting them up.
My fault, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right, okay, so first question. Um, Finn's left quad versus Reese's knee. Who's generating more force in a leg kick?
Oh, you definitely.
Yeah, I think me, but I'd just have to be careful with it.
Yeah.
Once
I
I'm
don't.
warm, like left
Hmm?
quad, once I'm warm, it's feeling okay. Like I trained yesterday and it was really good. I'm just having to do like a lot of higher rep quad work and like do leg extensions before and stuff, but like it's actually feeling all right at the minute. It's not
I feel like I probably haven't sold like how like bad it is. It's been 12 weeks. I can't do a bodyweight leg extension without pain in my knee. Like there's no quad power. I still fall over probably 2 times on every walk that I do where my knee just gives way. So like I probably
just
need to
all
like
over.
no, no,
Still
no, no, no. I don't fall. No, no, but
like,
like my knee shoots forward, and I have to like catch myself. Still, most walks, like I don't know. I feel like I probably need to like sell it worse. It's really bad. I'm just cracking on and don't mention it. And if I don't think about it, it's not there. So I'm just like not looking at my legs. I haven't looked. I haven't flexed my quad. I haven't posed my legs for the last 3 months, and I'm not going to. They're
you'll
not
have
there.
to do it before you start getting back into training, just so you've got a comparison.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a sick reel. Like that would be a good motivational reel. So yeah, I actually did. I'm gonna be honest. I did video. So I lied when I was doing like some like leg rehab like a week or two ago. I'll show you the podcast because the podcast people are gonna be like they're gonna be loyal listeners and watchers.
They won't screen record it and bully you.
Yeah, so it looks so bad. Look at that. Like, ooh, it's got a vein on. It
What's the
looks
other leg
small, doesn't
looking
it?
like?
Hmm?
What's the other leg looking like?
Sound. It just looks flat. Like it's so weird because my
You're not
like
trained it at all.
Uh, I've done I've done leg like I've done leg extensions with literally the first pin on the prime leg extension with it dropping off at the top to like 'cause that's where it's more painful.
I
So
mean,
like
the other
I've
leg,
done
you've
partial leg.
trained a non-affected leg. Have you been training it?
Not really. I've done adductors. I've done hamstring curls, but like I can do hamstring curls to like a moderate okay intensity, like 3 to 5 hour twice a week, and I've been doing adductors twice a week and calves twice a week. Because my right leg doesn't like my quad doesn't like size wise just looks flat. Like it just looks like I haven't trained it, but I haven't lost tissue. And my left leg has like legitimately atrophied by like 50%. So yeah,
Yeah, it'll come back.
it will. I'm not that worried. It's just like a bit like it's November, and I'm like, bro, come on, Alec, help me out, help me out. Right. Oh, mate, Instagram shit now, isn't it? I literally just like locked my phone and it just refreshed
Shows
it.
up completely.
Yeah.
I'll ask
You go
another
for
one.
another question if you want, mate.
How much do you think good posing can improve your placing in a show? I think that's a good question.
Good question. Yeah. I think it really depends. Like, look at the WNBF Pro Men's Physique winner. Like, who won the pro card earlier in the year. Posing was shit, but he's got such a ridiculous physique.
But
You
he
know.
then did the pro show at the finals
Yeah,
and
and it
didn't
shows.
get looked at.
Yeah,
No offense to
exactly.
him, but he's great. He's going and doing worlds this weekend.
Yeah.
He's got an amazing physique, but his posing lets him down a lot.
Yeah. So I think it really depends on the level and where you're up against. If you're an absolute freak, like let's say for example, my first show, if I couldn't pose, I still win that class, and I probably win the overall. Like maybe Train with G, the
Depends how bad your posing is.
yeah, no, but even if yeah, like it does to be fair. But if I could pose to like, let's say I've actually looked in the mirror and I
Very
kind of
average level.
know,
Right.
yeah, like I'm still going to win. But if you're posing as like awful, your midsection control's awful, it will affect placing massively. But I don't think, if I'm honest, people nowadays get on stage with that level of like horrendous posing. Like most people, no, mate, we're talking like not no midsection control, like back double bicep. Let's say, for example, both feet planted. Like most people know how to pose, just not very well.
Depends what show you're at.
You know?
Like
Yeah.
what I would say is like if you if you know that your posing can be better, like fucking work on it because it could
Yeah.
be the difference between coming third versus fourth or first versus second or whatever it may be. Like it massively depends on who you're against because, like we said, like if you're really good and everyone else is not very good, even if your posing's not great, you'll still win.
Yeah. You'll be
But if
safe.
you're good and everyone else is good and your posing is okay and everyone else's posing's good, you'll come dead last.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it
I'd
can.
say like PCA, especially PCA because it's flamboyant and stuff like that. Julian, one of the reasons why Julian would have beat Jacob would have been posing, like,
Yeah, it's
and
very
him being
great.
flamboyant. Like that would have 100% been oh well, he poses really well and he's very confident. He poses equally to all the judges, and his routine was really good. And when it's like a 1 point decision, 100% posing goes into a play. And also like PCA, they're going to think they're real that they're posting of you. They want it to be good. Like they want it to where you pose. Like if you've got a ridiculous physique and they say first place, bodybuilding junior or whatever, bodybuilding tour, and you're like, you can't pose in that reel, that looks shit on them. That plays a role.
Yeah, I don't think they'll think like that though. I don't think they'll think like, oh, we've got to choose that guy because he looked
No,
better.
no, no, no. But I
Like,
think like it definitely is a consideration where like I'm not thinking. I'm not saying it's going to be the be all and end all, but I definitely think they'd be a bit like, oh well, this guy poses really well, and therefore that accentuates his physique better. Like especially with the PCA. I think
yeah,
like
but I think that would just be where you would win in the comparison rounds. I don't think that as much as yeah, it's cool if they pose well. I don't think they get judged at that at all. Like in any federation, really, they don't
what do
really
you
judge
mean the
the
routine?
actual routine.
Oh yeah, no, no, no. I'm not. No, no. Sorry, I'm not saying that the route. I'm saying the posing and the comparisons would then lead them to think, well, they ain't going to be able to fucking pose, and like you're not going to be able to not pose in comparisons, and all of a sudden turn into Leon Physique Collective,
Good
the eye walk in the posing routine. So yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean like the judges have already made the decisions at that point, like 99 times out of 100. So yeah,
But yeah, I do think it does make a big difference. Like, I definitely wouldn't neglect it or be like, oh, my posing's all right. Like, no,
yeah,
like, make sure your posing's fucking good. Like,
yeah,
I remember at the BMBF, when I messaged you, said I'm going to sack off bodybuilding and just
yeah,
become a coach.
yeah.
Um, I rushed my posing, and not that I hadn't practiced or anything, but it's just because I'd had such a like busy day focusing on everyone else, and
Mm.
everyone else had already been on. So by the time that I went on, it was like, right, here we fucking go, and I just wasn't like I was definitely like rushed it, like I was too aggressive with it
When you say rushed your posing, what do you mean? Like in the comparisons, like
in every aspect, like. And I look back at that was when afterwards I was like, fucking hell, like my posing's awful. Like I need to
yeah.
really sort of posing out, and
Is
it's
that when your quarter turns were still
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it wasn't that bad, but it's just that I knew it could have been better, and I wouldn't have won even if it was amazing. Like I still would have got beat by that Matthias. But when I watched that, when I looked at the photos, I was like, that could be better. That could be like I can be very sort of subjective with my posing and go, that's not good enough. That needs to be better. Like I can view it as in a way where I know what I need to change. And like as soon as I came off stage and saw the photos, I was like, fucking hell. Like,
Yeah.
but that's again just based on being busy and rushing and not focusing on it like as much as I could. I'm not saying that I didn't practice. I practiced posing loads,
Yeah.
but it was like on the actual day that kind of went out the window a little bit.
It's
Um,
normal. Like it depends
yeah,
as well. Like a lot of the pre sort of show like setup. I remember PCA last year, men's physique. Like we stood up backstage for so fucking long, and obviously like the no glaze and stuff. And I remember like walking out, and I hit my front pose, and like they moved me straight to the middle, so it was like, oh, I was like, oh, okay, I'm sound. But like I remember like walking out, my head spun when I hit my first pose, got like tensed like hard, and because we were stood for ages, like they said you're going to be on in 2 minutes, and it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think like probably my emotions went from like right here we go to then like almost coming down to then right I've got to get up again, and then like my almost like I remember like my head being like almost like I almost like passed out. I didn't, but it was like you go from like being hyped to then being
But your
aggressive.
first start, just pass out.
Yeah, just straight away. Yeah, that's what I should have done. And then like maybe if I was like maybe they do it again, they'd go, why do you have glaze? I go, oh sound, give me glaze, thanks, that'd be great.
Passed out because I didn't have glaze.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Right. What do you enjoy more? Taking a client through their first competitive season or their first real off season? I think that's a pretty easy answer. Like overall.
Um,
Don't try and be a good podcast host. Let's be shit podcast hosts. The second answer's shit. Like it's
no, it depends. Like
well, it
I,
depends if they're shit. If they're shit in a prep, it's awful. It's nothing worse.
yeah, like it's a difficult one that like it depends how long you've worked with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if you've worked with someone for 3, 4 years, then obviously taking them first through their first prep is like, oh, this is sick. But if they just sign up with you for a prep and then you take them through an off season and
Yeah.
they're like really good, like that's
Mm.
awesome. Like I've
Yeah.
had some guys who have signed up this year, like Finley Thornton, for example, young lad who now
Mm.
is like making really good progress in his off season. It's like this is cool. Like
Yeah.
fucking hell, yeah, he's doing great. Like obviously Dean only signed up with me for a few months before his show. Like
Do
now
you
he's
mean the guy that's in love with that radio station, whatever?
huh?
Dean, the guy that called up into the radio.
Oh no, not him.
No,
That's
that's
another Dean.
slow. Too late, mate. You're too slow.
No, I was like, I don't even know if it was Dean. I just said
It
that.
was. You
It was
said
like,
Dean at the start. You said
yeah,
Dean.
it
And I
might have
remember
been.
I was like, I was going to save that in case you mentioned it. And I mentioned it and you didn't catch it, bro. Come on.
Yeah, sorry, mate. But like, yeah, that's. I think that's quite cool. Like, I would almost argue in that scenario, it's probably off season.
Yeah, I agree.
But in the scenario of like someone like Owen Garrington, for example, it's been great. Obviously, putting him through an off season's been class. He's been awesome. But like, it'll be really fucking cool putting him through a prep when I've worked with him for what, like 2, 3 years by that point.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's similar. Jack, it was Jack Murphy who asked, and like for Jack, it was like prep because I'd worked with him for like 2 years, but like he's responding really well now. Like so, like Storm, I worked with Storm for like not like a small period, but enough beforehand. But he was already like peak off season, so we didn't really make any changes. And Storm's body was so frustrating in prep, so it was like I've actually enjoyed. I said to him like, "You look way better," and I've been enjoying this. And he has as well. The last like probably 4 to 6 weeks because it's been like right, cool. We're actually growing and doing things properly. When he signed up, it was like right, you're too fat, you vet too much, your stomach's fucked, we need to get this in, we need to hold this, we need to reset this. And then prep was like, right, trying to counteract what we've done before and get him lean and then have to pull off like 60 pounds when we really only should have had to pull off like 30. So it was more like grief than what it was worth. Like, but again, you learn and it's one of those. But again, I think for most people, prep, because it's a little bit more one to one, it's a little bit more fun, there's more changes. You also go on a real good like venture with somebody. Like, you'll remember you prepping all these boys and they'll remember you prepping them, like in 10, 20 years. Like I said to Comran, like he gave me a massage earlier, I was like, I'm your only coach and like probably I'm his only probably going to be his only coach like for the rest of his bodybuilding career, I'd imagine. And we get on really well and I've coached him since he was 17. So that's like a big part of his life of growing up into me like looking after him, getting on stage multiple times. So yeah.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
Josh asked us, what are, I don't know who that is. This Josh guy has asked a few questions and he messaged me today saying,
Is it like Josh with like 7 H's and like 8841?
no, it's Josh with 3 H's, 4 H's, and a 651.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
So Josh with 4 H's, 651 asked, what are some top set songs? And then, yeah, in brackets, also love the transparency with the last few weeks.
Oh, sound. Yeah, Finn's a sad mess. He didn't allow me to have that onto the podcast.
Finn Kelly _ transparency coach.
Breakup advisor.
Yeah. So I knew, like, I'm not going to name any names.
I help broken up men.
I'm not going to name any names, but people who have got like a new fucking thing every few weeks, or like they've got something else that's going on in their life that they like to post about.
Yeah.
That's with me.
Yeah, man. You should have used this for content. You would have made so much more money.
I help 25 to 30-year-old males who have been heartbroken get back on track.
Hey guys, I told you about, and I won't mind. So I had a client, and there was some shit, and he was a female only coach, and all his reels were like, so it was, and he was a really sound dude, and it's a shame, but I think he's going to start up with me. So this is not me being negative at all. It was actually like something different. It was like how your post workout meal as a female, and it was like all the reels that you'd imagine, but it was just as a female, and it's like you should be like pre workout meal as a heartbroken 26-year-old.
Alright, guys, 5 tips to prevent joint pain while you're training as a heartbroken 27-year-old male.
How to be more productive when you're crying in the shower at 11 p.m. Like something like that. Just shit ideas. Just
Go
back in
for it,
your
yeah.
head. So yeah. Mate, what was the question? I can't even remember.
What are some top set songs?
Oh,
Complete
you
opposite.
said this before. Josh with like five H's and eight
Four,
three three four.
six,
Yeah, I said I'm never gonna get it right. I don't want to. Yeah, bro. Sorry. Song wise, it's all going to be dependent on what actually you get up to and switch on to. Like all my songs are very much kind of individual of certain times of my life. Like Finn's probably got loads now that you can listen to after fucking Shannon. Like, mate, you're lucky. Your top set songs are sorted for the next like 10 years. Like until you're a Masters competitor, your sound. So like any song that Finn would probably listen to in a romantic or like, and it is honestly the case. Like it will bring back some emotion, and
It does,
sometimes,
especially like in the immediate term.
yeah.
Literally, mate, like within the first week of like us breaking up, every single song, you don't realize that because you don't listen to
Yeah,
lyrics.
you told me about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
you were like, every song's about people
every
breaking
single
up and
song's
love.
about love,
Yeah,
like every single song.
yeah,
So like I'll be in the car and the radio will come on for like 30 seconds and I'm like, I literally can't listen to it.
yeah.
So I'd like turn it off, put a podcast on or whatever. Like every song is about love or breaking up or missing someone. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Mm.
but you don't realize it because
You have
when you're not thinking like that,
when you're not a 26-year-old who's heartbroken.
mate, I'm 27.
Oh, you're 27. Fucking hell, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
not
know, so much
27.
older.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, you don't realize it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it doesn't cross your mind because it's just a song. Like, but then
Mm.
also like obviously songs come on that we would listen to together or like that I'd remember her like dancing to or singing to, and then I just cry.
Great, great.
So yeah. Anyway, top set songs. Find what makes you cry. To be fair, one guy messaged me. I won't name his name. One because I can't remember. Two because I'd have to find it. He messaged me and he was like, "Hey mate, I saw your story about like what's happened. I just wanted to ask how you like approach your training. Like I how we because he said I'm in the same boat. I've recently gone through a breakup and
I
I
saw in your bio that you helping
and that
20.
you help just 27-year-old males who have been through a recent breakup. That's my complete niche. Got rid of all my other clients. But no, he was basically just like, "What do you do?" Because I'm like getting way too worked up and emotional for my sets. And like, I can't remember what I said to him, but like, I think I just put something like, "Don't use the songs that make you feel like stupidly
Yeah,
emotional." Like,
yeah,
it's
you
not.
shouldn't be like attaching negatives to training.
No, like,
When you can skew into a positive sound, but that'll be ages from now. Like that'll be a good amount of time.
yeah, but mate, like, I
Ever.
like the songs that remind me of Shannon and remind me of good times and stuff. Like, but I don't when I'm training, I won't sit there and listen to it and like get real deep in my thoughts. I'll just like laugh a little bit and be like, "Fucking hell!"
Yeah,
Like, let's get switched on. You know what I mean? I won't sit there and like really think about everything and
yeah.
like fucking try and break it all down. Like, I'll
Mm.
just use the song because I know it's going to give me that bit of an emotional response, and then I'll use another song that's going to give me a bit of a boost. Like, I
What's your go-to, mate? What's been your go-to recently?
I thought it was a shit question. Now you're asking.
No, 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 no. Because I'm actually interested. Like, what song, what memory? I want to know everything about it. I want to know what goes through your head.
I'm not going to go through that, but and you'll do the same. Like, and I'll do this for any set that I feel like I need it, especially like bigger exercises. Like, I'll put like a slower song on
Yeah,
that like evokes some emotion, and then I'll put a song on that has nothing to do with emotion. It just fucking
yeah,
gets me going. That
yeah.
has a drop about what 30 seconds in or something, or like I'll put it 30 seconds before, and then I'll go and get ready for the movement. Like, and then I know when I have to go. Like, that is one thing that I say to clients all the time. Like, when you see a client send over like a deadlift video and they're strapping into the bar for like a minute, and you're
Yeah.
like, mate, just fucking pick it up.
Big
Stop.
wave, bro. Yeah.
They're just like playing with their hands and then just strap up again. Like, get a song on that you know there's a drop in X amount of seconds. Give yourself enough time to walk up to the bar, strap up, compose yourself, and go. Like, don't be fucking taking a minute, 2 minutes. Like same with like any exercise, like
Yeah.
a pendulum, a leg press, whatever. Like I'll know when I have to start the set, and then you can't even think. You don't get the chance to think and go, oh, it might be a bit heavy. You just fucking get after it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I
Right.
can't remember the last time I didn't do that. To be fair,
Hmm?
I can't remember the last time I didn't use it's on any big set. I can't remember the last time I didn't use a song that has a drop when I have to start the set.
Yeah. I agree. I think like that whole like I remember when I was young, like strapping up into a deadlift and literally thinking, is it? Am I going to move it? Is it
Take
heavy?
ages.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'd literally like roll it back and forth and be like, oh, am I ready? And then like it wasn't until I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shut that fucking voice off and just go for it and not think anything of it. And like that's like again, the second the straps touch the bar, I'm pulling within 3 seconds. Like the second I'm ready, I'm like gone. I'm not. You don't even think about it. And like something that like we've said before is like, and I remember us doing it. That even, we never mentioned it, but like we wouldn't even get on like the apparatus of the machine, like the seat, until you're ready to go in. Because like I remember training with Matthew, you know, my old client, and it was like he was sat on the bench before a press, and we both were like, bro, what are you doing? And like to him it was normal, but I was like, no, if you're going in on a press, you should be like only sat there when it's like game time. It's like going to bed. You don't get into bed and lie in bed when it's not time to sleep. And I like you shouldn't be on like the bench of a bench, like
Or to have a wank.
or to have a wank. Yeah. Fair enough. Like sex, no. Finn doesn't know what sex is. It's only to have a wank. Usually when you're somewhat like tearing up. Again, 11 p.m. after your cold shower to optimize, or warm shower to optimize sleep.
A
Ignore that.
warm shower before bed, and then a cold shower to wake me up in the morning. But I get like 2 hours sleep, so I basically they're right after each other. Yeah,
Imagine your actual like coaching is genuinely like break up like people. You'd be like, right, cool, 3 hours sleep quality of 2, fantastic, really good, mate. You know,
that's
like we've nailed 2 sleep cycles there, bro. Honestly, mate, that's such a progression. I mean, oh, okay, only 7 self-harm attempts this week. Great, bro, keep that going.
can't say that.
Mate, I'm
That's too
allowed to
far.
say, mate, it's a joke. Like, come on, let's be honest. It's us. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I don't have anything against self harm. I think it's a cry for help, and I think it's sad that people do it. And I'm sorry.
You don't
Please
have
don't.
anything, we know you don't have anything against self harm, mate. No
Hmm?
one's saying that you have anything against self harm.
I'm just not allowed to say that.
No, you're just not allowed to say it.
Nah, mate. You know what? I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. It's 2024 now. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna start saying all the things I feel. I should.
Really bad.
What?
Like go really bad. Like
Yeah, and just be like, look, it's me, bro. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. I was like, you think that's bad? You should hear what I said 2 weeks ago. Like, that's minimal, bro. You know.
what was I gonna say? We're talking about, yeah, in terms of the like sitting on machines before an exercise, like we again like whenever we see someone do it, we'll go, it's gonna be a shit set. It's not, but it's just something that we just don't like. Like
Yeah.
imagine being sat. So imagine you do your top set
Yeah.
on a pin loaded machine, shoulder press,
Yeah.
and then you change the weight and you just sit there for 5 minutes and then you go again.
Yeah.
That to me is mental.
Yeah.
Get up.
Get
Like,
away from the
do your
machine.
set. Get up, get off
Yeah.
the machine,
Yeah.
walk about for a little bit, like log your set,
Yeah.
do the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
We see people on a leg extension, like they'll do 3 sets and they just sit there in between. It's like, what are you doing? Get
It's
off.
also funny, like I said this, Jacob sent me through a dumbbell RDO the other day. Did you see the 70 kilo dumbbell, or the 80s or whatever he created, 75s? Like they look like
Off. Well, that's
yeah,
what we did in lockdown.
yeah, they're shocking dumbbells. And he sent me like the whole video, and he said, "Oh mate, sorry, I didn't crop the video. I didn't realise you see me like get myself a bit amped up." And that's like right at the back end of his session, and it's like probably like a 3 hour leg day. And like again, this isn't. I'm not giving this as a compliment to Jacob because this is what he should do, but people don't do. And it's like before a set, he was like probably there for like a minute with his eyes closed, like tapping his hands, getting himself ready for a movement that again, Jacob does definitely need more glute and hamstring, but his legs aren't like a massive area of concern, and he's still getting himself amped up 2.5, 3 hours into a session. Which I'm not giving him a compliment. I'm just saying most people don't do that. Like most people just go in on that and think, right, dumbbell RDO, 1 set. Let me just get this 1 set done. I can go home. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they're thinking of. But it's that sort of intensity over the whole session. You want to preach, girl. Yeah, it might be the last exercise. Fucking give it some attempt. Like you don't have to be getting yourself amped up and smacking walls or whatever. You shouldn't be smacking machines anyway, according to Miles Mason, like 2 years ago. But like you shouldn't like. Mate, I'm on one today. Sorry, but like you should be giving a fuck about the
Isn't it
actual.
weird though? Like a lot of people say that like you shouldn't be slapping machines. Like
Why the fuck? Why can't you?
do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
If you want to slap a machine, slap a machine. If you don't, don't. If you want to headbutt a wall, headbutt a wall. If you
Yeah.
don't, don't. If you want to make noise in the gym, cool. If you don't, you don't. Like
Yeah.
do whatever works for you. Like, I sometimes quite like slapping a machine because it hurts my hand and it gives me an adrenaline response that helps me within the set.
Yeah.
I don't need to scream and shout. I very rarely make noise in the gym. I very rarely shout anything or go, "Come on, you fucking cunt," or anything like that. I don't need to
No,
do
you're
that.
not screaming. Okay, okay, come
Yeah,
on.
see, I don't do that.
No.
Or go, "Yes, yes," with every rep. I don't do that, and
Yeah.
that's fine if people do like that. Like honestly, like we'll joke about it, but I'm not saying
Mm.
don't do it. Do what the fuck you
Yeah.
want.
I had someone send me, Jack Richardson with like his eyes where he used to do remember on like the hammer strength incline and he'd be like, do like that, like he'd get himself so amped up. And I had a client send it to me and I was just like, bro, why do you care? Like, does it look a little bit silly? Maybe if you're watching it from an outside standpoint, but if Jack has to have his eyes open like wide for him to feel like he's going to train hard, cool. You can do what the
Do
fuck you
whatever you
want. Like,
want. Yeah,
and it works. Like, look at how much progress he's made.
yeah.
Sound. Who's anyone to argue with that? Right. If you had to find out a life statistic, what would it be? E.g., total reps bottled, 0. Total chickens consumed, total money spent on subs, etc. Like
Total,
one stat,
huh?
one stat about your life. Like,
Total injuries.
okay, real injuries or just injuries in your head?
Just mental ones.
Um,
Um, Probably something like total steps. That'd be cool. Or
hmm.
total like
Well,
total
mate,
miles
I've got
walk.
a question for you. How many days do you reckon you've been alive for?
Are you working it out?
I'll search it up.
Right,
I saw it.
365 times 10 is
What's your
3,000.
assumption, mate? Come on, just don't. You don't need to.
12,000.
Okay, I think it's about 10 and a bit. I think
Yeah,
you hit 10,000 on like
not
um
too high. Three six
on
fifty
six.
times three
Yeah,
three six fifty times 3 is not even 12. Yeah, about 10,000 ish.
yeah. I'm like 9,630 or something. I hit it like next year. So let me have a look. Current date. Yep. Birth date. Finn. Your birthday is May 17th, 97.
Yeah,
Sick. Mate, I'm a fucking good friend. You would not know that about me.
yes, I would.
Okay, what is it?
22nd
Yes, of.
of December.
Yeah.
It would be just what would be the year after me, so 98.
Okay, fair play. Yeah, not as fast as me though, bro. Um, oh mate, oh fucking hell, Finn. 46 days ago, you hit 10,000. Mental.
Should have celebrated it.
Yeah, mate. The reason why I saw it on like Reddit. Someone saying I had someone pass me a slice of cake at work because it was their 10,000th day alive. Like
It's
fair play,
mental,
like
isn't it?
yeah, like 10,000 days. You don't hear this, mate. My
46
mum.
days ago. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, my mum, mate, hit 10,000 days. Hear this, 2001.
Yeah.
So she was your age pretty much in 2001, and she's only 50. I was like, you're old, bro. Like,
So how
what?
many? 46 days, yeah?
No, so I got it wrong, mate. I put birthday down as 21st for some reason. It wouldn't change. It would just, I could only change the, so I'm guessing 4 days extra. So mate, it's your 10,000 from 50th day alive today.
So 50 days ago.
Yeah.
7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. So the 2nd of October.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's
So
see
we
what
need to do like, mate, we need to have like a
I did.
20,000 day birthday like bash together. We need to look at our like 20. Well,
Yeah,
my 10,000th is coming up in like a year and like a month.
we'll do something for it. So 2nd of October.
10,000 days from then. That's what you need to search.
I'm looking on my phone what I did on the 2nd of October. I've just got photos of Nath, and he looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, really good.
That's all I've got for that day.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, if it was a stat, I'm trying to think back to the question. What I would actually like to know of. Grams of whey consumed would be like fucking. I'd be like digestion ruined.
grams of cum consumed.
Yeah, yeah. So grams, kilograms, kgs. Weights lifted would be like God. Imagine my like skeletal system. That'd be
So
insane.
all kilograms lifted. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Hmm. I wonder, like, if you could get, like, if it was a stat, like, how close to an aneurysm you created or something, or, like, like, something like that. Like, how many times you've shat yourself. Like, that would be something that's just like, yeah, yeah. how many wanks you've had? You probably about 1 million since the break.
I haven't.
Mate, I'm only joking. That's what people do. They wank and they cry. That
No,
makes
look,
sense.
to be fair, I haven't thought of that as like a response. Like, imagine if I did, then you end up fucking getting addicted to it.
Like, get addicted to wanking or porn? Like, which one?
Both.
Fairs. Right, mate, your questions.
But to be fair, like on that point,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing that I would want to go to, you know, like obviously when like I've yeah, it's been a bit shit.
Yeah.
I would never once think like I'm gonna go, oh, I need a drink,
Yeah.
or I'm just gonna go out with my mates. Like as much as I like seeing my mates, like even when I've gone out with them at times, I've
Mm.
gone for a meal and I've not drank or anything. Like I've just gone and had a
Mm.
chat with them, and they're like, oh, let's go out, let's go for a night. I'm like, no, like that isn't conducive with my lifestyle. Like
Mm.
I'm not gonna feel any better about a breakup
Yeah.
for fucking going out.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
get that.
just not me. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna make me feel any better. Neither is drinking alcohol. Neither is doing drugs.
Yeah.
Neither is having a wank. Like what has made me feel better, and like I said to you before, is like just fucking working. And it's
Yeah.
not healthy. I know it's not healthy, but it's what I like doing. Like is working hard, getting good results, working with good people, seeing my clients get good results. Like that's what motivates me more than being like, oh, I need a break.
No, no,
No,
Finn,
but
Finn, Finn. You don't have to try and argue. I'm on your side, all right? Hardest
right,
work. Okay, I get
right,
it.
yeah, right. What one session at home, i.e., adjustable dumbbells, bands, would you choose? Not arms. So if you had to do one session at home,
I'll push, 100%. Like,
but it says not arms.
yeah, like, no, yeah, push. Like, if we, I don't know if he
I
said
don't know.
barbell.
I don't know. Pull like
Nah, mate, you got rows, that's it. Like, single arm row, like, dual arm row. Well,
yeah. If you've got a pull-up bar or pull-up station, like
yeah,
he's put session at home, i.e., adjustable dumbbells and bands. Let's say we've just got adjustable dumbbells and bands, then yeah, push.
yeah, yeah. Depends on really the load and stuff like that. Like, if lockdown was to happen, like, I think push and pull sessions would be sound. Just do loads of fucking bent rows, loads of dumbbell rows, loads of presses. Like, just do upper. Like,
Imagine
lower
if
would be cool
lockdown
with what
happened
we've
now.
got. Mate, I think it'd be so weird now. Like, I feel like the world we live in now is even more like sheltered, and I feel like it would like be very eye opening. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, people are having like complete meltdowns like again because people have gone through it before. You know,
Wonder what we'd do for gym kit.
I don't know, man. I think like with what we've got and what we had, like we'd be pretty sound. Like, wouldn't you say so?
Just the hack and the leg press that we had before.
Yeah, I think Abster could wheel out that bench again and all that sort of stuff. And she's got the Matrix preacher and Matrix adductor.
Adam, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we'd be sound to be fair, mate. We'll
Right.
have to speak to Jakob and see. Can you, Jakob 100%? If he would 100% let us train, like
Yeah,
wouldn't
and
even be quite.
he'd end up getting told off, and we'd get told off.
Nah, because it's think about the area. I feel like we'd be able to go and train like late at night or in the morning. Like Jakob would because he'd be allowed to train there, and like 100% we'd be able to get away with it. So yeah, that's what we do. Like this is why, mate, we fucking need a gym, like an actual gym, because if this happens, like I saw something say apparently, like there was going to be another lockdown for the new variant or some shit, like 6 months ago. You know how like girlfriend? Oh, sorry. You know how you might have known how a girlfriend say about they worry and all that sort of stuff. Sorry, mate, bit of a touchy subject. But yeah, we just need a fucking gym. Right, got any other questions, mate? I'm all done.
Jack asked JPMVMT.
Is
It's
he?
not.
Do you still coach him?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I haven't seen any updates from him at all. Is he a
Yeah,
fat mess? Is that why?
no, mate. I post about him quite a lot. Like I post about him on a lot of his check-ins, especially recently. He went through it. He got a new job, and like training had to take a little bit of a back seat because he's doing like 4 days on or like 4 nights, and he's like
Yeah.
just getting settled in. But he's in a really good spot now. He had like a bit of a mini cut, which was kind of planned but kind of forced based on
Yeah.
life and not just like being busy and stuff.
Life, mate, you're helping 20 to 30-year-olds.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. To be fair, when he went through this little transition and like he was in a bit of a stressful period, it was the same time as everything was going on. It was when I was like fucking walking to Morrison's every morning from yours because I didn't
Yeah.
want to speak to you in the morning.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um, should PCA stop natties from entering the enhanced shows now there's more natty shows?
No, no, that's silly. Like, I don't really make sense. Like, bodybuilding's bodybuilding. It's not enhanced only. It's not enhanced PCA. It's PCA untested because there's no drug tests. So if you're natural, 100%, I think you should be able to do any show you want. If you're unnatural, you should only be able to do the shows where you're not going to get tested. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it shouldn't be a case of like that would maybe be unfair. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to say no. You're natural. You can't do any show. Like you can't do this show.
I will interject. If they had the same amount and they were like on the same day, I'd say that would be a bit like, bro, like let's say every single PCA show they did, if there was like a natural show in the morning or like the on the same day, whatever, you should probably do the natural show
I
unless you want
still
to.
wouldn't say you can't do it.
No, 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 no. But I think it would be a bit of a, oh, why are you not doing the natural show, bro? Like, you're natural, aren't you? But I don't think you should, like, there should never be a rule. Like, the only time that should be the case is if you're on gear doing
The other
that.
way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Bailey asked us, shout out to Bailey,
Yeah.
current rest day, and he's dieting. You can tell he wants to know about food. He asked me again. He
Messaged me like, no bagel, bro, hashtag dieting. And I was like, sick, Bailey. Enjoy the diet.
He asked me about cream of rice today.
Okay.
Current rest day and training day meals for both.
Mate, he asked me, he said, is that the caramel biscuit? And I went, no, salted caramel, mate. And he went, Fins are the same. Yeah. bro is like, any story, replying to, what's that, bro?
So go on, what's your rest day and training day? You had a rest day today, yeah?
Yeah. No, I did arms, so I had my intra shake. 4 meals, like 4 main meals, 2 shakes, so like 6 protein servings a day. Meal 1 is sourdough and eggs, that stays the same on training days. Meal 2 is oats and whey. Meal 3 is rice and chicken, and then my final meal is I have an option. I either have fajitas that Sanaa makes or like burgers and chips. So it's like carbs kind of backloaded, 100 carb per meal, 1, 2, 3, and then like 180 to 200 carb in the final meal. That final meal stays the same on training days. It's the same setup, but just more carbs. So first meal is a bit more sourdough, and then meal 2 and meal 3 are, instead of meal 3 being rice and chicken, that's meal 2 with more rice with honey as well, because it's pre-workout, and then meal 3 is cream of rice post-workout. So it's very similar sort of setup. It like works out like calorie-wise, like 4.8 and 4.5 like calories, so fairly similar, train day, non-train day. Which is sound, yeah. It's all good, to be fair. I'm enjoying it. It's like really weird not to have my food really high, but then also not like really low. It's actually like pretty sound. It's like a very maintainable amount. I'm like holding like 277 to 282, depending on what I've done the day before. So yeah.
I just eat dadlers now.
Dadlers. Mate, can I ask? Like, I'm probably making your day, I'm asking. Firstly, a dadler is a date, isn't it?
Yes.
What's dadlers from? And I don't want to hear this like you, because you're going to think it's hilarious. Like, I see you smiling now. It's a shit story, bro. What is a dadler?
It's what they're called in Denmark.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
it.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me this hilarious story. Like,
no. Not hilarious at all. I just love dadlers. And like, I actually just think of them as dadlers now, because they were called obviously dadlers in. I just like the name. They were called dadlers.
If I was like, would you even pause if I was having a date? Would you say, "Oh, pass me that dadler"? Like, "Oh, those dadler knives." Would you say it?
Yeah, I've been calling them dadlers. I just like with most of my clients, I call them dadlers. Like, unless it's like a brand new client, I'll be like, "Right, you've got dates in." Most of my clients are eating dates now. If they're on a decent amount of carbs, like you're gonna have maybe a little bit of dates in the diet.
Yeah, mate. Jacob was having dates. He came round Sunday and he was having dates. I was like,
mate, they're so good.
Yeah.
So good. So yeah, I have meal 1, dadlers and whey. Meal 2, dadlers and chicken.
Be serious. This is like dadlers chicken.
Just dadlers and
the chicken and rice cake. The chicken and rice cake guy. Funny story. He was actually
does a rice cake. Right.
He was at the Fitex thing, which was funny. Like, guy was like, "Oh, he's the fish and rice cake guy," and I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "It looks completely different."
Yeah. Yeah, he did like a proper interview on, I think it was like Lad Bible or something, and it was
really?
on about how he was like depressed really badly from it, like being bullied ever since it.
Hey, no wonder the bro was on like 3 grams of fat. Like,
he like turned it into a positive.
Yeah, like you had literally 0 micronutrients for whole prep, and you looked so like small. No wonder you did a thing like, but with even worse diet. Like, he did like this.
It was sound.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, he did a prep where he had like no muscle and like nothing to keep him alive, with like no micronutrients.
He had some muscle, mate. Not a lot.
No, mate. Yeah, some, but like, look at him, bro. No wonder he got bullied. Like, what you eating, bro? Like,
he got bullied from the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, my diet, it's very similar, training day and rest day, just for simplicity. So meal 1 is the same: 100 grams of oats, 50 grams of cream of rice, 60 grams of whey, 100 grams of fruit, which is pretty much raspberries or blueberries, and then 20 grams of nuts.
How do you have the rice and cream of rice together? No, sorry, the cream of rice and oats together. Like, what do? Do you have it warm? Because I hate cream of rice warm, but I like oats warm. I'm trying to think, like, what do you do? Do you make them in the same bowl?
Do you want me to tell you, or are you just going to keep asking?
Floor is yours.
So you do the oats first, yeah. So it's in one bowl,
Yeah.
yeah. I just do boiling
Bailey's
water.
gonna love this.
I
Bailey's
just,
oh,
he's going to bed. He's going to bed not for sleep.
yeah.
I just do the hot water from the kettle, and a fork. Yeah, it's dead easy. Done within like the oats are done in 20 seconds, and then leave that a couple minutes because if you put the cream of rice in, then it's like when cream of rice cooks too quickly,
Yeah,
it goes like a bit thick and like you get like the soft like the bits where it's just like powdery.
yeah.
So leave it a couple of minutes, and then I'll put the cream of rice and the whey on, which is literally just just the powder, and then just whisk it up. And if I need a bit more water, the water from the kettle's cooled down a bit. There you go. That's it. And it's basically just like oats with more flavour from the cream of rice and the whey. Like, and if I was dieting, I would probably do the whey as a paste and put it on top.
First, actually sounds okay.
It's banging, mate. It's really good.
Does it taste like cream of rice, or does it taste more like oats?
It's like a mixture. So like it's like salted caramel oats with.
Because I don't
whey.
the thing is, I really dislike like cream of rice warm. Like I cannot.
It doesn't taste like cream of rice warm. Like it doesn't have the same texture or anything. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like oats with a bit more flavour.
Okay, fair enough.
And then pre-workout meal. So I have that, and because it's quite a big meal, decent amount of fats. It's like 100 grams of oats, 50 grams of cream of rice. It's like a decent sized meal. So I'll have that generally around about 8:30. So I've already been up for a few hours and working and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go on a walk, come back, make that, have that.
Digestion walk?
No, it's like it's an appetite walk. 'Cause it's before the meal.
Yeah.
Digestion walk directly afterwards, and then I come back and then I go on an appetite walk again. Digestion walk,
Yeah.
appetite walk. Yeah, it's weird. I'm just constantly walking or eating. Don't get any check-ins done. I've still got all my check-ins to do after this call. It's 9:20 now, so hopefully my clients won't mind.
You need to post. What do you need to post? Podcast walk or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, pre-workout meal, 200 grams of chicken, a rice packet because I'm using packet rice instead of cooked rice, or cook your own rice, which I obviously used to do, but now with just
You don't know how to cook rice because you're a male who's 27 and therefore you're like, this is what you tell your clients, bro, you don't need to cook your food, just buy packet food. I can't afford it, it doesn't matter, bro, just get your money up, it's easy. Work.
because obviously I'm at my dad's at the minute, like it's just easier to be like, right, bang, like it's not my kitchen and everything, like it is because it's my fucking family home, but like
I ate out packet rice for like my entire prep last year, bro. I'm like, yeah,
that's easy, and it's the Asda jasmine rice is really good, and it's like 90. I think it's just over 90 carb in a packet. You know, like the Tilda sticky ones, like 94. This is like just over 90. Dadlers, 75 grams of dadlers. Fucking banging. 40 grams of jam, pink salt, and then dark chocolate. Intra-workout carb drive EAAs, post-workout cereal, banana, whey. Final meal is bagel, avocado on the bagel.
Bagel and avocado, fucking hell.
What?
Hey, that's very like, I don't know, slightly rogue female journalist sort of vibe, you know, that like it's just out and about and trying to get a bit of like food or something. That's like a bit out there, bro. Come on.
It's nice, right? So listen, you've not listened.
Okay.
So bagel, yeah. You just saw me eating it before I came on. Bagel, smashed avocado on top, 50 grams, half an avocado.
Yeah.
Turkey bacon, egg, and then I have a yogurt and granola bowl on the side.
Is it not like that's not a bit more volume than you need? Like, does that not take you like 20 minutes to eat?
Mate, the whole time that we were on the podcast before we started, I ate that meal.
I just feel like yogurt is a meal in itself, and then to have like a bagel, I'd just be like, can I not just have
the amount that I have? It's literally 125 grams of yogurt. That's fuck all. 40 grams of granola. That's not a lot. 150 grams of blueberries. That I literally ate that in 2 minutes when we were on before we started, and then otherwise it's literally 5 bites of a bagel twice.
Yeah, fair enough. I get that.
There's a lot less volume than it sounds.
I feel like I've always been very basic. Like you're more variety.
You don't. You think that yours is basic, but you don't. You have fajitas or burgers, like
no. But the burgers are like literally like a sourdough bun, a beef patty. Like
in your burgers. In your burgers, you put mushroom, onions and stuff, don't you?
No, I don't. Sanaya will if she cooks them, but I'll take a photo afterwards. I don't put onions in a burger or anything like that. I more mean it in the way of like you'll have like, and I don't. It's more so. It's not me hating. I just it's something I don't do. I will never have like you know how people will have like their eggs and then they'll have like a cream of rice bowl. I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, I'm just gonna have cream. I'm like, if I need more carbs, I have more cream of rice. Like I'll have like usually just one carb source. Like the burgers and chips is literally just like that's actually like quite going out there because it's two. It's a sourdough bun and the potato. But like most of my meals is just like one carb source. Like for you, you've got post workout what cream of rice and banana and like dates or whatever. I'll just have cream of rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't eat any micronutrients.
I do. I have fruit.
Not
I have fruit
really.
on my rest days. I have fruit on my oats. But to be fair, I didn't say that. But yeah, I have fruit once. I have fruit once a day. But like I don't eat
I
fruit.
have fruit with every meal,
Yeah, yeah. I eat fruit twice a day. Twice on a rest day.
and I have dadlers constantly.
But I also think as well, I think it's probably down to, again, food and how high calories get for me in comparison. Like, I used to eat a lot more, like, I'd have, like, veg in most meals when I was, like, a skinny natty. You get to a point, I probably can't get away with that due to...
You can. It's just you definitely can. It's just
Mate, I'm doing 6,000 steps a day, bro. I can't move. I can't go for appetite and digestion walks.
No,
I've got to pray. I've got to wake up and hope that, like, I'll digest
you
all the
definitely
food.
could
I
have
can't
some
move,
form of fruit or veg with every meal, or fruit and veg with every meal. You easily could. It's just that you think, nah, I
Oh,
need
yeah, I
to-
definitely could, but... Nah,
You don't
I'm just
really-
too much of a fucking bodybuilder, bro. That's what
Yeah,
it
but
is.
like, let's say what you want. You want less than 5,000 calories. You can't say you couldn't have fruit with every meal. Like, and again, mate,
Oh yeah,
date.
but then it goes above 5,000 calories, and I'm like, fuck that.
Get yourself
You
some
know?
tablets in. To be fair, I don't
Yeah.
have loads of veg. Mainly based on I don't really like veg that much. Like I like loads of different fruits. Like
Mm.
if you were to say what's your favorite veg, I'm like I don't really like any. Like it's not to say I wouldn't have them.
Yeah.
If I'm on holiday, if I'm on an all inclusive holiday and they've got like really nice steamed veg, sound I'll have it with every meal.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home, like I very rarely have that much veg. I should have more. I definitely should have more to be fair.
Yeah.
But I do like my fruit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, rest
Oh,
day.
yeah, mate, your face. I took a photo. There we are. Your face recently for photos has been. Do you see the photo I got of you the other day? You're like,
Do you
"Hey."
not want to do another one then?
Yeah, I'll do another one. Do a smile. There we go. Right. Is that it? Are we going to do anything else? Is there anything else you want to speak about? Or is that all?
I'm going to tell you my rest day meals if you want.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Rest day meals. Bailey would be like, message you, Finn. What's your rest day meals, bro?
So the first meal and the last meal is the same, Bailey. And the two meals in the middle are just basically one is beef, rice, and fruit. Again, I would have veg with that if I was in my own kitchen. Beef, rice, and fruit. And then the other one is chicken, rice, and fruit. And I have dark chocolate in both of those meals as well. Not in it, on the side.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mate, I'm not gonna comment because you get very defensive about food, bro. Clearly, you're still food focused from prep last year. It'd be the same for me. If I did a fucking like 12-month diet and lost all my tissue, I'd be the
Wasn't
same.
12 months.
No, mate. It was,
Never got. If you did that, you'd actually get your lower back lean.
Mate, I don't know about that. My lower back can't get lean. I don't think we should know this. We should
But how
face it.
long?
Let's stop talking about it. Hello? Cool, thank you. Sound. My
I remember those
my
days.
onions-
I remember the
my
days
onions are ready.
when I had a girlfriend that cooked for me.
Yeah, I know. But she cooked like every meal for you, so I only cook my final meal when I'm busy, so it's like...
She haven't cooked any meals for me. Every meal, mate. If she had cooked a meal for me, it was literally she'd put salmon or rice on. She didn't cook a meal for me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm going to send her a link now. I'm going to forward over a link and be like, can we get a debate live on the podcast?
Get her on.
That'd be so weird. Right. Mate, well, eventually we'll stop talking about it. I'm sorry. I feel like if it was me, you talk about it probably more. I think you mentioned my dad being dead plenty of times, so I've got like a few
Mate,
more.
you never met your dad.
Yeah, I know, but I did. Kinda. Like,
No,
I
you didn't.
was one, bro. Come on. Like, I was 1 to 2.
You don't remember.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. That doesn't mean I didn't meet him, you know?
Would you class it as a meeting, as a
I mean,
baby? Did
yeah,
you
man.
go, nice to meet you, Dad?
No, but like, still, mate, it still hurts deep down knowing that I've got no father. You know, like, I've got a hole in my life because of no male figure. It's the reason why I keep saying stuff like self-harm and shit. I've got no filter because I had no one to ground me as a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's not my fault, guys, alright?
Right,
Yeah.
sign off then.
Yeah, sound right. This has been a bit more of an OG sort of like potentially getting cancelled. I feel like we went back to like 2022 with this sort of podcast. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed for the 5 people that are still listening. Yeah, weekly episodes or bi-weekly episodes coming soon. That's that. Finn, anything you want to leave us on?
No, just thank you all for watching, and I'm glad that we're back. And it's nice. A few people have messaged actually saying like, "Good to have you back." So thank you for the nice messages.
Cool. Right. Peace. Bye bye.